Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts.
Welcome everyone to the
Jeff.
Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. Today we got the Mailbag episode, getting you ready for week 13 of the fantasy NFL season. We got 2 weeks of regular season. That is it. And then we are to the playoffs. So this year's flying by. We've got a few questions for you. We can see as it drops off as you get to this point of the year, as maybe some of you have dropped off, or at this point, they're like, it's either that. Sometimes it's just not questions. Sometimes you just know what you're rolling with at this point. You just go with it. But there are some good questions here. So let's get started with Pac-Man. He says, who are you going to start? Deshaun Watson or, if healthy, Justin Fields? If healthy, I'd be starting Justin Fields, but I don't know if we have a healthy Justin Fields, but it's hard to start. Deshaun Watson's interesting, isn't he? He has a good matchup too, but he hasn't played.
Yeah, he hasn't played. And I was asking Craig this before. We have to submit our lineup to Scott Fishbowl. We're in the playoffs, and we've hung on to Sean for the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got Mike White. I picked him off of waivers.
Mm-hmm.
He played well last week. So it's kind of one of those, like, the sight unseen, or do you go with the hot hand? And I will say this, if Justin Fields was healthy, I would definitely go with him.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, even if he plays, right, it's not even like a healthy thing. If he is going to start the game, how much of him are we getting? And with a running quarterback, it becomes even more of like a decision, because if he's going to protect himself, if he's not going to go, if he's not going to run as much, all of a sudden I lean the other way. And Deshaun is a really talented guy. We know that. He's going to be playing to reinsert himself in there, and he has Amari Cooper, who's been playing well. Njoku, I mean, he does have some weapons, right?
Mm-hmm. He does. It's against Houston.
It's against a really bad team.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's tempting. It's tempting.
Right now, I would have Deshaun in my lineup. And then as it got closer to the weekend, that is when I would find out if Justin Fields looks like he got miraculously better, but I can't imagine I'm playing Fields over Deshaun this week.
No, I don't know. That's, man, yeah, you're the injury factors there, right? No matter what they say, no matter how he comes in, he's hurt. He's going to be hurt even if he plays, right? He isn't going to be healthy.
You won't be 100%. We know that.
Yeah. Man, maybe you're right. Maybe a healthy Justin Fields I'm playing, but you're not getting healthy Justin Fields no matter what this week. Yeah.
Right. So
maybe just roll with Deshaun, and you hope. I think maybe that's the way you go in the Scott Fishbowl for us in this playoff situation, is you take the guy. Maybe he goes big. Jacoby, if you get Jacoby Brissett numbers, it's okay. You're not like hurting. You're okay. Like,
right. He just
you want better, but yeah.
Yeah. At this point in the season, though, it is scary to think it takes a lot of the risk out, knowing it's Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But he went in there and threw 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. And he kind of just got, 15 points, and they won the game anyway. That would be my biggest fear, but I just can't imagine that. I do think he'll probably throw a pick, but I think he'll end up with 2 touchdowns, and he might try to run one. And I think he's going to go for it, because I think that he knows everyone's kind of looking at him. And right now his reputation is in the toilet. The only way to beat that, as many athletes have found out, is to win. Then people will not care, and they will support you anyway. So I think that's what's going to happen, but that is completely speculation.
And then Pac-Man has a second question. Who are you starting as flex? He has 3 receiver options: Christian Watson, Chris Olave, Michael Pittman. It is PPR. That kind of puts it over the edge for me. I think I take the safer route and go Olave. He's the safer route for sure.
He is PPR.
It's close. They're going to be closely ranked.
Yeah, they will be.
Watson catches touchdowns. He only gets 4 catches a game, but there's usually one of them's a touchdown.
I know, and they're going against Chicago. They desperately need that win. He's coming off 3 straight games where he has a touchdown.
He has 4 catches in each of the last 3 games. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown. So he has 6 touchdowns out of his last 12 catches.
Yeah, we're in agreement though. Like Pittman would be number 3.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. And they're going against Dallas to top it off.
Right.
Dallas has been strong. I mean, Pittman.
What has Olave? How many catches is he getting a game? Because they've also been.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot more, really.
Yeah, they've been all over the place. And yes, he's had a couple of big games, but I kind of, even though I agree with you that
you're true. He's only getting like 5 a game. Last couple games.
I think I'm just gonna ride the hot hand. That's what I would
go
do.
for it. Yeah, let's go for
Christian.
it.
Yeah,
I get, it's not there. I just pulled up the current consensus ranks on Fantasy Pros. I wanted to see where they were. Olave is 21st at wide receiver. This is actually this is a half PPR. Olave's 21st, Pittman's 24th, and Watson's 25th.
Okay.
Currently.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they were gonna be close, but yeah, I think I would actually I'd throw Watson ahead of Olave. And it would be like 21-22, and then Pittman would be a few down.
Yep. All right, Nightwing. Who are you starting? Damian Pierce or Jamal Williams? And oh man, we've talked about Damian Pierce the last couple of weeks, and it's been rough. And you know what? For me, I'll just go Jamal Williams.
I have to agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pierce has to show me something again at this point.
It's been really, really rough.
Yeah, it's not been great. So let's go Jamal. Brother Coffee Bean, he says, with Watson at quarterback now, what could that mean for Kareem Hunt's role? I don't think it's going to change much. I don't expect him to change a lot. I think Chubb has really established himself even more than he already had before. Hunt's going to play. Maybe I just don't know how much it can change.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with you. You would think that with Brissett in there, they would have had more passing plays to dump off to Hunt, and they didn't really use him that way all that much.
No.
So I don't see it. I mean, it's possible they have a few more plays that they work in there, but I agree with you. I don't, especially the first couple of games. I think as he's getting himself up to speed, they probably won't change the playbook all that much. I think heavy dose of Chubb, and then they'll try to work in Amari and whatnot.
And then he also asked, should I start Zeke over Alvin Kamara? And I get the idea, but I think I'm still going to roll with Kamara.
Yeah, I can't do it. He's too good not to start every game.
And you just know that you're waiting for that big game, like that he can put together. I know Zeke just had his, but it's all touchdown related for Zeke. Kamara doesn't have to necessarily get touchdowns. He can get a lot of yards off catches and everything. So let's go with Kamara.
Yeah, I agree.
Bready Spaghetti says, who are you going to start, Mike White or Daniel Jones? Mike White is again playing at Minnesota. Jones is playing against the Commanders.
Mike White?
Give me Mike White. I'm just going to go.
I'm loving this guy.
He has players. He has people to throw to. We've said that all along. The Jets have some talent around there. I mean, running back is a little beat up now, but they have receivers. So
yeah. And I know this is probably the worst analysis, but I love him from last year. Even he had a couple of games where he did phenomenal and a couple of games where he didn't do so phenomenal, but the ones he did with a lot less talent around him. And then we just watched him put it together and throw to those young wide receivers. I just know what I know. Minnesota is a good team, but I'm loving what I'm seeing there. And Daniel Jones, I don't have any love for that guy, so I'm gonna go with my man, my White Knight.
And then the next question from Brady Spaghetti says, I got Zay Jones off waivers, but he says, but I have DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, so he's not starting for me. But what do you think his rest of season value is? So he's been pretty solid. Like this week, last week, I was 11 for 145, really solid day. Week before that, 8 for 68. Week before that, 5 for 40. So he's been picking up a little bit. I don't know exactly yet, but I think he's going to be a solid player. Like if you need like a third receiver, you've been struggling, he could do some things. I'm interested to see if Trevor Lawrence keeps playing better like he did at the end of that game last week. And plus this week though, they're playing against Detroit. It could be a good day. I'm interested. I think that Trevor Lawrence could be taking a step up. And if that's the case, Zay Jones could be an okay option. He's still going to be down there, but he's like in the 30 range now, I would say. I'd put him. He's in the 30 to 40 range, but that can be a very back end wide receiver 3-ish type, or wide receiver 4. So you might not get in a lot of lineups, but there's definitely teams that can use him. Definitely fantasy teams that can use him for sure. But yeah,
I think it's a very good pickup. And if an injury occurs, I wouldn't have too much of a problem playing him at the moment. Especially he's not gonna don't get crazy with it. I would play the other guys over him, but but if something did happen, I think that is a good backup plan.
Yeah, he said something. He had another bigger game earlier in the year, 10 for 85. So yeah, he can do it. And then LeBig Mix asked Trevor Lawrence or Dak Prescott this week. So again, like saying Trevor Lawrence, people are like, he took a little bit of a step up, and so he's also playing against Detroit. Dak's playing against the Colts, who, while not necessarily a good team, they seem to be in some low scoring games.
Yeah, they do. And that's been the last 4 or 5 games. I feel like they've been really low scoring.
And Detroit's gotten better on defense.
They have, and let's not get too crazy. I mean, it is Detroit. Trevor Lawrence has a good matchup. I think that puts Trevor Lawrence in the starting QB conversation. He's right on the borderline. I don't think I can start him over Dak though. I think I stick with Dak, even though with all that said,
I think I agree with you. It's one we've seen, like, was it even a really good week, or was it just a good end of game? Everyone remembers the final drive and the 2-point conversion. He was solid, right? The last 2 weeks in reality, he's been solid, but I want to see just a little bit more, I guess. Go with the guy I know is usually, I can count on for the most part in Dak. So there we go. And actually, he pulled up the ranks. I was just curious where they were ranked on consensus, and Dak is 8th and Trevor is 9th. So
I mean, that is about right though. I mean, yep. I don't disagree with that.
Yep. And now we're to that. I just say that's it for our questions. But I was just looking at these ranks. We're to that point of the year in fantasy where I'm looking at these rankings and like looking at the running backs and guys we're going to be using now. It's Rachaad White and like the guys who you weren't talking about at the beginning of the year, Rachaad White and Jeff Wilson and Isaiah Pacheco and now Zonovan Knight and just all these names. It is that's fantasy for you at the end of a season. And we're not even all the way. We still got weeks left. It's going to get even uglier. But interesting. All right, there we go. Week 13. Hope you guys are still in the running for your playoffs, or we're going for those championships. But that will do it for today. Talk to you guys next time.